feel like I've gone travelling. I feel like Babe picking the city because I'm in the other set. How exciting is that? It is also launch day as well, which is really, really special. It is the launch of some gorgeous brand new fabrics. Now, I have got not one but two guests as well standing by live via video link, but via video link. I've got the lovely Lizzie Curtis standing by. So I'm going to say hi to Lizzie Curtis and give her a wave. She'll be coming up a little bit later in this show. However, I just felt like with us having like a brand new fabric range, I just felt like we needed to have, you know, the lady that put it together with us here in the studio. So I literally just accosted her outside the toilets and said, please, I need you to come just for a minute, Sara. And she's here with me. How are you?
I know, well, I was busy out the back there getting ready for the later show today because I'm coming up later today for launch party. However, I know it feels a little bit weird having a launch day on a Tuesday when we normally have softer side of life, but it's a launch day, softer side of life, because it is my brand new collection of Meadow Lane fabrics. Now, for those of you that don't know, I've been working with the incredible team at Riley Blake now for the last, what's it been, about 18 months? It's a couple of years since I met the team over there, okay? I mean, and for those of you that don't know, they are one of the top fabric design and manufacturing companies worldwide. So when they asked me to work with them on some of my designs, I was absolutely thrilled. Now, you know me, I don't draw. I'm not a fabric designer. So what I do is have a vision, and then they are able to work with it. So I can have the vision, the colour schemes, the feel of this. Their designers can then work with us to see it right through to a complete range. Because what you've got, Joe, is you've basically got, because it's called Meadow Lane, a lot of the fabrics are this absolutely beautiful. I'm going to get in loads of trouble for opening these out, aren't I? Yep, I am. You're going to get these absolutely beautiful prints that are these fabulous, it is this Meadow Lane style, but then what you get is, you get all of these individual colours, Joe, picked out, where we've then done the coordinates to match. So for example, love this one. Absolutely gorgeous. Love this design here. And you see, we do this in the peach. We've done this in the pink as well. We've done this in the grey. And you see, so those of you who are using this for quilts, or maybe you've done a little bit of bag making, like the bags that we can see here, it means that you can use the main design and then supplement it with a lot of the pattern design. See, this one here, it's got that gorgeous design that I was showing you for the lining inside. Doesn't it look wonderful? And this is what's gorgeous about them. Now, Joe's going to walk you through everything that we've got. He will walk you through all of these gorgeous fabrics over the course of the show. But needless to say, honestly, you will love them. It is 100% cotton fabric. It's the quality that you know and love from Riley Blake. It's the designs that you know, I know what you guys want and what you guys want to work with. And honestly, of all the range that I've done with them, I think this might be my favourite one to date, Joe. Honestly, we've got loads of stuff. Lizzie's got loads to show you. I was watching her shows on Create and Craft at the weekend. Everyone went crazy for it when it launched here in the UK. Whether you are doing quilting, like this lovely table runner, whether you're wanting to do little bits, like look at this lovely piece here with the lovely applique flowers on the side.
It's got
loads of demos, Joe.
It's sort of a bit vintage in a really kind of contemporary way, in a bit of sort of a Kath Kidston kind of, you know, that sort of really nice vintage contemporary feeling. I think that's the browns in there. I love the use of browns. You just don't see it that much, do we? You don't. It's like
it's like they've got a bit of a feel of those vintage undertones, but the gorgeous brightness that'll take you right through spring and summer. So I know you guys are going to love it. Joe and Lizzie between you will take you through all of this in detail. I'll go and share some of my favourite pics over on my Facebook page as well. And I'll go and finish getting ready for the show that I've got coming up later on today as well with you, Joe.
Awesome. Thank you so much for popping in and sharing with us the process and how these fabrics come about, Sara. Right, I just want to, before I run through all of the options on the fabrics, I just want to give you a heads up on some of the other stuff that's been very, very busy on the pre-sale. So we've got the Threaders Quilting Starter Kit, which is this one just here, £26 or $33, becomes, of course, £20.80 or $26.40 for Platinum members, that one there. Now, zips on a roll. I have got more zips on a roll than you can shake a pokey tool at. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10, 12, 14 colourways for you in these. If you want to see them, get yourself over to the website and have a look there because there is loads of those for you, which is fantastic. Now, we've also got the quilting clips available as well. These are awesome. You've got here, well, you're getting all of them, 100 of them for £20. That is awesome. Saving you £29.90 or £42.50. You're all going to be saving more than that because you are going to be getting some sort of club discount in there as well, which is fantastic. Now, loads of you chatting away already. Loads of you saying hi. Patty is saying hi from Michigan. Will is in. The Crafty Crafter saying hello from Snowy Hastings. Hello, Will. I bet it's freezing there today. Diana's saying hi. I think it's Diana in Indiana. Mariah's in from Hamburg, New York. Katie's here. Lynn and lots of you chatting away. I'd love to know what is your favourites as we go through these shows. Right, I'm going to go over and say hello to Lizzie. I haven't been through all the options yet. I'll do that in just a second. But Lizzie, can I say you are a vision in mustard today?
Well, I'm kind of matching the melon colour of the range because I had a bit of a choice of colours here, Joe. I could have gone mint, I could have gone off-white, I could have gone melon, grey, you name it. But I decided to go sort of mustardy, so we're kind of nearly on the melon side of things. But I just wanted to bring a little sunshine in everybody's lives today, Joe, because you know what? When you've got a new launch like this, and seriously, folks, I've had nothing but positive feedback over the last, well, actually, it's been a couple of weeks, my end, because I've teased people relentlessly for the last couple of weeks. I've made projects with my group of ladies using these fabrics, and they've been kind of dribbling a little bit at the side because they couldn't wait to get hold of them. It's not an attractive look. I don't recommend it. But these fabrics, I have to say, and you're just seeing a little corner of one of them, is they are beautiful. Now, Sara showed you the off-white mane, which is, we've got 3 colourways in that mane, but the off-white. This is the off-white poses, and I know Joe's going to take you through them, but they are absolutely gorgeous. And if I bring in one little project there, this is the mint in the poses. So gorgeous. When you start, it's so gorgeous. When you start looking at this fabric in detail, I know some of these are going to sing to you. So I think I ought to pass back to you, Joe, so you can go through the colours.
I think I'm dribbling already, Lizzie. I need you. You could make a gorgeous bib out of these, if you have got any dribblers in your life, which is, you've got little ones, they're going to make gorgeous projects for those. Okay, Lizzie, I know how excited you are. I know you're like a coiled spring there to get into action with these gorgeous fabrics. What I'm going to do is, if it's okay, I'm just going to share the details with everyone, take you through all the options and how to order, and then we'll come back to you to start demonstrating, if that's all right, Lizzie.
Cool.
Fabulous. Okay, so we are going to start just over here. Now, what I need you to know is that these are all half-metre pieces, okay? If you order multiples of them, we will cut them for you on the meterage. So if you order 4, you'll get a 2-metre piece. You order 6, you'll get a 3-metre piece, which is fantastic. Now, this one here, which is your Riley Blake Meadow Lane, grey Meadow Lane, is that right? 40% of that one has gone. We're very, very busy and have been very busy across all of these. Let me move on to the next one for you. So this one here is a floral imprint, as you can see. So again, really beautiful. Again, 40% of that one has gone. This one here is your, let's just get those details in for you. That one just there, the grey Meadow Lane posies, there we are. 7.19, 50% of that one has sold out and gone. The next one I want to share with you, this one here is your scribbled floral in the grey. So they are all your greys. Very busy on that one as well. So that's that one. This next one here, this one here is your Meadow Lane leaves, if you want to go for this one, which is fantastic. There, as you can see, half-metre piece there on that one. Very busy. Also, it's very busy across all of them. I will keep reminding you. We've also got the Dash Daisies in the grey as well there, as you can see, which is fantastic. really, really gorgeous. So that is your greys taken care of for you, okay? There's a lot. At the moment, there's 18 for you to choose from at the moment. We didn't bundle these together specifically because we thought, you know, rather than sending you a ½ metre of everything, if you are dressmaking, if you are, you know, doing home decor pieces, if you want to have more than a ½ metre, I think it's really lovely for you to be able to choose what that is that you're going for. However, what it means is, because what we've got is, rather than people ordering a ½ metre of everything, people are ordering 2 metres of that one and a metre of that one and a metre of that one. So it means that the most popular ones are going to go very quickly. As you saw there with the greys, 40 to 50% of a lot of those already sold out. It is very, very busy. Right, next ones we're going to look at are the pinks. So this one here, this is your scribbled floral, which is fantastic. So do grab that one, £7.19 or £8.98, as they all are. Club members, £5.75 or £7.18 for any of these. This one just here, this is your floral imprint if you want to go for this one, £7.19, £8.98. All of them 10% off, which is awesome considering it's a brand new launch. The next one we've got for you, this one here, this is your pink leaves that you've got just, sorry, that's my fault. I'll bring that one back, sorry. I am getting ahead of myself. Dash Daisies is the first one I need to share with you. This is that one just there, which is gorgeous. And then the final one in the pinks is this one here, and it is the one with the gorgeous leaves, as you can see. I love this. I think it would actually be, I mean, Lizzie's probably going to tell me off, but I'd love to use them in the corresponding colour, in the opposite colours. I think they would be gorgeous. 30% of that one has gone. Right, I'm going to put that back. Right, I am going that way because I'm going to go down to the yellows for you, which are fantastic. So the yellows are these ones just here. So I am going to, there we are, let me bring these into you. So here, we're calling these the melons is what we're calling these. So again, you've got the Dash Daisies there in that melon, which is fantastic. Really, really gorgeous there for you. If you want to go for that one, you can. So I think, sorry, the details on there are for the scribbled, are they? Which is that one there? Oh, it's following me. There we go. So this one here is the Dash Daisies. Awesome. Then this one here was the scribble for you, which is gorgeous. And then you've also got it, there we are, scribble floral. And then you've also got the floral imprint, which is that one just there. Absolutely lovely. Right, that's that. We're going to go on to the mints now for you. So with the mint is this one just here. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is the posies here that you can see, and 30% of these have sold out and gone, which is fantastic. And the other option for you in the mint is this one just here, which is just gorgeous. Look at those really lovely, big, bold florals. This is the Meadow Lane. 30% of the mint Meadow Lane has gone. You're gonna, Meadow Lane Main, you're gonna need to be quick for them. Right, last selection for you is the off-whites, which is this one's just here. So we're gonna start with this gorgeous one, which is the Meadow Lane Main in the off-white, which is fantastic. So you've got that one. Then next you've got the leaves as well in the off-white, which is this one just here, which is beautiful. This is the cream leaves then we're looking at here, I'm being told, which is fantastic. Really, really gorgeous. And remember, it corresponds with all of them. And then the last one is 8. Which is that one there, the off-white posies, which is fantastic. £7.19 or £8.98. Next time we do that, we're going to do it in pictures. It's not a problem. Honestly, there's just so many awesome fabrics. It's difficult to get through them all. They're all gorgeous. You need to know that they're all very, very busy as well. What I've also got as well is you saw them all the way along here. I've got all the zips on a roll. I've got all the concealed zips on a roll for you as well. Check the website for those. There's absolutely loads of other stuff in there. I would love to know what you are going for as well. Sandra says, would you consider doing fat quarter sets? To be quite frank with you, you can cut these down into fat quarters if you want to. I do believe that is also a great way to do it. Diana wants the bag on the desk. The fabrics are beautiful, says Karen. Karen says, stunning, I need them. Gilmore says they're also cheerful, love the colours. Mariah says the quilting clips are an absolute must. They really, really are. And she also says I've got some vacation time coming. I can't go anywhere, so I'm going to get some sewing and crafting done. Oh, I'm excited to see what you come up with. Donna says the fabric is beautiful. Penny Porch says, you are all such fun presenters. I may have to go get some of this fabric for my bags. I sewed for my journals and for journal covers. It would be lovely. It really would be. The greys look lovely. And Rich says, Fred. Rebecca as well talks about these. And can I open them up? I can open one up for you, actually. I'm going to open this one up just here, just to show you, just to give you the idea of what that looks like. It is a repeating pattern, so you're going to be able to, you know, see it all the way through. But you're getting a gorgeous half-metre piece. Some of you might refer to this as a half-yard piece. There are so many half-yard or half-metre projects that you can go for out there, which is fantastic. Any questions that you've got at any point, please get them into me. If you've got any sewing-related questions, we could do a little bit of stitch school, I reckon, with Lizzie, and she could maybe answer some of your queries. I'd love to see any pictures you've been making of things that you've been making from any of your sewing projects. If you want to send those in to me, you can. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. If you want to get social, then absolutely in the same ways as always. Over on Crafters TV, or of course on Facebook, or of course over on Crafters Companion, which is awesome. Right, but for now, we're going to go back to Lizzie. Lizzie, so excited with the fabrics. Have you seen all the colours of the zips on a roll we've got as well?
I have got every single one of those.
Wowzers!
Next door.
I've got them all here in the studio, but I didn't. To be honest, I didn't realise we did that many colours in zips on a roll.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I have to say, and I'm going to be totally honest with you, I only ever use our zips on a roll, ever. Unless someone opens it. Okay, we can't go there because we don't do them. But zips on a roll are my absolute go-to, and I recommend them to every single person. Now, if you think about it, I've got close to 30,000 YouTube followers. That's not to be sniffed at. And every time I do a little project, let's just say the little pouch here that I made with the off-white fabric, I use zips on a roll, and that's what I promote the whole time because they absolutely work. And that colour range, you will not find that colour range anywhere else. I promise you, because I've looked. And the quality is phenomenal. And I do a lot of projects where you have to use only half of the zip. So you actually have to split the zip in half and slider, and you have to put it back on again. And it's actually, these are the best zips that you can find that allows you to do that technique. So there's a lot to be said, and you've heard me, about our zips on the roll, but the colours are phenomenal. And it doesn't matter. Look, here I've used, oh no, you're going to test me on the colour. I think it might be cream.
Is it
it might be cream. But on the demonstration for later, I've
biscuit
got the
or
ocean
gold,
blue,
I believe.
and that's going to work as well.
Beautiful.
So
what I'm going to do is, Lizzie, as you go through the demonstrations, as you go through the different fabrics, we'll just try and keep up with you and change the details on your screen. But I'm not going to butt in every time the details change it, because look, I can tell, I can sense your passion for these fabrics from hundreds of miles away, Lizzie. So I'm just going to let you crack on with it, if that's all right.
Well, do you know what, Joe? I've never been told off for not talking, so I'm always very good at that. It's about the inspiration, surely, isn't it? And it doesn't matter what you've got on that bench there. I have used it, and I love it. The quality of the fabrics, as we've already seen, you know, I've got some little samples here if you need me to, but it just shows how wonderful they work together. And you've only got to look behind me, because one of the things that came out of all of this was when the fabrics were sent to me, and you know, our lovely Stephanie said, would you like some finished samples for your room, Lizzie? And I said, you must be joking. I am going to be making with this fabric for the next few weeks, and that's exactly what I've done. So it totally inspired me. One of the things that I did do, and you have to excuse my props now because I've got hat box behind there, all sorts going on, smoking mirrors, is the disappearing 9 patch. Now look, let's just call it 9 6-inch squares that you're cutting up, rather than being technical. Now that is so pretty. You've no idea. I mean, I just went in, put my hand in the box, picked up, I wanted 3 fabrics. And I know that all of those 18 pieces are going to work together. I know it. So I just picked those 3, and it just looks glorious. So you've got the melon in Ditsy Daisies in the melon, you've got the imprint in pink, and you've got the leaves in cream, or I think it's off-white, isn't it? And they absolutely work together. Now I'm gonna quickly show you how to achieve that, because if you are a new stitcher, there we are. If you are a new stitcher, you'll think, I can't do that. No, Lizzie, forget it. I'm switching off. I can't do that. I'm going to prove to you that you can absolutely do that. It's the easiest thing.
Confusion came.
So, just to show you quickly how to cut a 6-inch square. Okay, you might know already what a 6-inch square should look like, but we've got the quilting starter kit. So we've got the smaller mat, the A3 mat. We've got the 6x12 ruler, which is essential if you're a new sewer. And I've also got my rotary cutter. Now, if you catch sight of my rotary cutter on the side view, you'll notice that it's got papercraft written all over it. It's a bit faded, but it says papercraft, okay? Now, I've got a story, because these are such good rotary cutters because it's a silicone handle, it's nice and soft. And when I came to do the show today, I could not find my rotary cutter, my fabric blade in. So I had to go to my papercraft one, because as soon as my blades go blunt, I deliberately put them into my papercrafting rotary cutter. So I changed the blade so it will cut fabric, but I just want you to know, and you can see how much I use it because it's worn out, that's what you can do with your blades that have gone blunt. Save them, get a secondary rotary cutter and pop your paper crafting blades in here, because what I'm using here you can use for paper crafting. So to get this to cut lovely, you know what, you think an A3 mat is not very big. Let's just move those boards out of the way. And you could be right in saying that, okay? It might be that, okay, you've got a lot of fabric to cut, but that is, an A3 is quite a small mat. But what you've got to remember is, you can turn the mat and you can make it a really big mat. Now, when you get your half meters home, you'll have it folded in half here, doubled up, and you'll get selvages at the bottom. Okay, you get 2 lots of selvages. Keep it like that. Bring your fold down and pop it so it's parallel to the bottom. Get it nice and straight. I'm just going to flip that over because I want to make sure it's nice and straight. And what you want to do initially is to make sure that you've got a lovely, neat line. I'm just folding that again because I can feel a little crease under there. That's better. And you might find that this edge here, although our guys in the warehouse cut our fabrics beautifully, you might want to neaten this up. So get your ruler, and that ruler, it's 12 inches long, easily fits over that half meter of fabric folded over as I just explained. So you just want to neaten that off and get yourself a lovely straight line. So pop your rotary cutter down and give it a nice cut. And if you've got a nice new blade in there, you can see straight away, and I'll lift it so we can see what a beautiful, beautiful cut that is. And because it's a self-healing mat, there's no effort involved. You're not going to destroy your kitchen table. It's perfect. But what we want to do is cut a 6-inch strip. So all you're going to do is place your ruler over the top of that again, line it up. You can see how beautifully that's lined up. And then all we're going to do, and I'll just move this slightly, is just to get your rotary cutter again, release the blade. Look, I've even got a P for papercraft there. Release your blade nice and safely. Put your fingers down onto the ruler, hold that in position. Don't ever do that, because that will go like that. And and I nearly had the blade out there, but you don't want to do that. You want to have your fingers like that to hold that down. And all we're going to do is slide our way across the fabric. Close your blade off, make sure you've done that. And then what we want to do is make sure we've got our ends nice and neat. So again, I'm keeping my mat as a portrait instead of landscape. When you get it home, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Make sure that your yellow lines on your ruler are lining up with the edge of your fabric. And if you want to, you could line this up on your mat, use your grid, that's what it's there for. Pop your ruler over there again. Now you can line up your ruler with the white lines on your mat, or you can do it on a yellow line, making it parallel here. It doesn't matter which, because they're both accurate. Fingers down again, and use your lovely, lovely new sharp blade to cut yourself a neat edge. And you've cut those selvages off. And then literally, you're just moving your ruler across. You've not moved the fabric. That's the one I'm trying to get through to you. That fabric has not moved. You've moved your ruler and your mat and your blade and all those sort of things. You've kept your fabric absolutely still. So there we are, that's your first bit. Now look, if that's not simple, I don't know what is. You've got the most perfect 6-inch square, and in actual fact you've got 2. Now, if you're wanting to make this 9 patch, you'll think, well, how do I do this? Where do I start? Well, I've got some of it already done. You know, the power of TV, we always try to get some of it done. And if I just hold it up to the front camera, you'll be able to see what that looks like. So that's half, no, 2/3, I should say. So the bottom line, hold up a bit more, we should have a pink to that side, whichever side I'm looking at. No, that side, that side, a pink, then a blue, the mince, and then the cream in the posies, which is just too delicious for words. So I've got those pieces cut out and I'm going to stitch those together. Now, if we go, sorry guys, if we go back to the side camera, what I really want you to do is always, always, always lay your fabric down so you can see straight away your design, because there's nothing worse than stitching them together and realizing actually they're absolutely not in the right place. So and I've done it, believe me. So look, I want that to be opposite that. So we've done that bit. The 3 whites, the off-whites, go through the middle. And then I've got that beautiful mint mane. Oh, which, look at that. Look at that. That is like a picture all on its own. So straight away I know if I bring that down slightly, and I know it's a little bit off camera, I might have to zoom out a bit, that you've got those 3 ready to stitch. Now, look. We've done the 6-inch square, so that's a tick because it's any one of these, right? You've done that. All you've got to do is lay them out on your carpet, your settee, your floor, your desk, or whatever you think. Pin it up on a wall if you've got a wall that you can do that with, just so you can see that design. And then all you're going to do, please don't get too het up with rules and regulations. We're going to stitch that one to that one. That's about as simple as we can get. So you're just going to go right sides together and pop it under your machine. I'll bring my machine in a little bit so we can see a little bit of it. Like I said, I might have to zoom out a bit. And all you're going to do is a 1/4-inch seam. Now look, if you can't do a 1/4-inch seam, I think I'm going to have to zoom out in a second. But anyway, if you can't do a 1/4-inch seam, in other words, you know, you don't have a 1/4-inch foot or you haven't got a guide or anything like that, then whatever markings that you've got on your machine, maybe it's 1/2 inch, whatever it is. On mine, I've got 1/4 inch as it happens. And then I've got something that says 10. That could be 10 millimeters, no idea. But find a guide on your machine and just go with that every time. And that way, you'll always get the perfect seam. Popping it down on my desk, bring the thing over, there we go. And now I'm going to stitch that one to that one. Look at those colours.
Gorgeous,
See
aren't
how
they?
they work together. And all of the designs in the main fabric are repeated in all of the other fabrics. So when you start looking at the main, you'll be able to see where the leaves have come from, or where the daisies have come from. You'll be able to see that in the fabric. So, oh, I'll get John to zoom out a bit. Thank you, John. That's better. Look at that. Let me move my little bags out the way. Now you can see. So those are the 3 squares. Thank you, John. Those are the 3 squares that we've just stitched together. Okay, so that's giving you the start of it. It gets more exciting, guys, as we get along. So all we need to do now is join that top row of 3 to the other 2, and that brings all 9 pieces together. We're still only doing a 6-inch square. I have done nothing technical. Promise, I promise. And you know what, anybody that, in actual fact, if you've got you know, when we can, if we've got the grandchildren coming round, or maybe it's the little girl or boy from next door that want to try a little bit of stitching, this is actually achievable to all of those, from sort of 6-year-olds up to 96-year-olds. I would say this is the best thing they can do, because they're creating something really, really stunningly beautiful. And I have to say, a lot of this is the choice of fabric. Because we've got this gorgeous Riley Blake, you can't beat the quality, guys. Riley Blake have been going, I think it's probably about 12 years now, and they've got the pedigree, okay? They've got the pedigree. They know exactly what we want as sewers. And it's a funny thing, but when I was showing this off on my Facebook page a few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, I showed the stack of fabric, and somebody said to me, that has got to be Riley Blake, because they know the type of designs that Riley Blake will put together that work, that know that when you get it home, it's going to inspire you and you're going to start creating. Now, I've still got my mat on portrait. Do you see? You might think small mat. No, it's like a TARDIS, because now what I want to do is to cut. I know, you're going to cut, guys. You're going to cut through your squares, okay? And you're going to measure. I'm going to guess. So I'm going to just put my ruler on there, and I'm going to guess. I'm just going to eyeball it, which you're not going to do. All right, you're going to guess. You're going to measure. You're going to measure. So give it an iron as well. So we're going all the way through, and I'll get to the end of my ruler with my blade still into my mat. I'm just pushing my ruler along, and at the same time, whatever black line that I'm following on my ruler, I'm making sure that it sits in exactly the same place, and then I'm just pushing it off my mat. And that way I have cut my 2 pieces in half, but I haven't finished, okay? Because now what I want to do is to turn this around. In fact, I'm going to turn it this way, and then I'm going to cut again. And you'll think, oh, you've done all that stitching, it looks lovely. Well, yes, but we're going to make it look even betterer. And then what we're going to do is cut this again. So just make sure, sorry, I'm looking at the people in my ear. So then you're going to line up your squares again, and I know you've cut them. Put a bit of tape to hold it down if you want to. Open up your blade and then cut again. All right, again, get your ruler on there. I've just slightly moved it, so I'll move it back. Try and keep fairly accurately. And again, I'm following a black line on my ruler. I kind of got that going along my seam. So open up your blade, push along as far as you can, get to a certain point, keep your blade in because that's safe when it's there, move your ruler along and just come up to the top and off the edge. Now what we've done is created 4 patches. Now, if I get my mat out of the way, because it's visually, it can sort of muck yourself up because you can't see it clearly, I'm going to put the squares that we've created into the corners, and I'm just bringing the other ones in. And look, I've created, oh, let's get that right way around. And I've created, in fact, let's just get that. No, I'm going to do it. Bear with. There we are. Now we've got it so it's got like a checkerboard effect. Now look at that. And look, we've done that from start to finish. Did a little bit of stitching beforehand, but you can do that. You can make this in a half an hour. Now what you're going to do is you're going to stitch these 2 together. You're going to stitch these 2 together and flip them and create one big piece. And that makes a really large cushion. And if I bring that in, there we go. Now that's using the daisies in melon, it's using the imprint in pink, and it's using the leaves in, I think that's the off-white in the leaves. So look how they all work together. But you could use all of the greys. When you think about it, I'm just going to get my boards in because you need to see this. If you pick out, let's just say the greys, right? You might pick out the posies, my favourite, the scribbled daisies as well, and maybe the main, or maybe, no, I'm going to go for the other daisies. So look, let me bring those in. move that cushion out of the way, and how those 3 greys work. And if you think about the cushion that we've just made, because we have made a cushion front now, guys, you could make them in those colourways. So think about how that would look. Or if you wanted to, now I'm messing all my boards up now, they were in complete order to how it was for the guys in the studio. You could bring in the pink leaves, you could bring in the scribbled, oh my gosh, look at that, it's just so delicious. And then you could turn it down. Look at that, look at that. If I pop that in the middle, look how that works. Now that could be your cushion front. So it doesn't matter which 3 you use, Joe, they're going to absolutely work together. Really going to work well together.
Absolutely, they would. Do you think they'd work really well as oilcloths, these, Lizzie, as well, if you wanted to treat them and turn them into little, you know, oilcloth little makeup bags and things like that?
Oh, hello. I was talking to Craig this morning, right? And he was working with some folding box dies. I'm not sure what they're called because I'm not doing the podcast side of things, but they were brand new, I think, or anyway, whatever. And he was demonstrating then. I'm thinking, Craig, don't forget, you can stiffen the fabric and make the boxes out of fabric.
Fabulous.
Don't forget that, Craig. Don't forget that, Craig. And when we came back to air again, you know, and I was in there, and I said, Craig, you forgot to tell everybody they can make those beautiful boxes out of fabric. So yes, you can use the fabric coat on there, make them waterproof. You can cover them in a sticky vinyl because you can buy that as well. How clever is that? You can also use them with the dyes and use our fabric stabilizer. If you've still got a bottle of that cupboard, get it out, because you can make boxes using the fabric, the fabric stabilizer, and this glorious new fabric. And just imagine if you're making, maybe you've made this cushion front and you're thinking, oh, I need to do something else. Bake some cookies, make one of those boxes with the stabilized fabric, and you've got the most amazing gift to give to somebody. So it's not just about stitching sometimes. You have to think outside of the box, Joe.
Outside of the box or inside the box? What is in the box? Who knows? Lizzie, I know you've got absolutely loads to share with us. It is, however, very, very busy. So I'm just going to give you a break for a second, Lizzie. I'm going to run back through and update everyone how that stock is going. Now, if you have just joined us, you are tuning into a softer... If this was a single, a CD single, it'd be softer side versus launch day. That is what we'd call it. It's a mashup, really, because yes, it is our weekly destination sewing show for you, but we are launching Sara's brand new Meadow Lane by Riley Blake fabrics for you, and you guys are absolutely loving them, as we knew you would. If you want to place an order, it is very easy for you to do. What you need to do, of course, is pop yourself over to our website, craftsworkscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. There you'll see our homepage. Click the shop the show button under a video that you'll see this image right here, and you'll be able to shop everything in this show. Remember as well that we are one of very few retailers now which cut the fabric to order, and what that means is if you are, these are all half-metre pieces or half-yard pieces, you may refer to them, but they are all cut to order. So it means that if you order 3 of one and 4 of another, you'll get 1.5 metres of one and you'll get 2 metres of the other one. But that is why certain fabrics are going to be very vulnerable, because actually, rather than selling you a collection of a half metre of all 18 of them, it means that you're picking and choosing. So the very, very popular ones are going very, very quickly. What I'd like to do is take a moment to run you back through all of them. Now, they're all priced the same, £7.19. As a Platinum member, that becomes £5.75, or if you are stateside, you are looking at $8.98, which becomes $7.18 if you are a Platinum member. So let's go through them all. Oh, my belly's just knocked those zips out of the way. Let's go through them all, starting with this one just here, which is your grey Meadow Lane mane there, as you can see. 40% of this one has sold out and gone, so you're going to need to be quick for that. Right, the next one I've got for you is this one just here. Now, this one... This is your floral imprint that you've got here. Again, half metre piece there for you. 40% of that one has gone. Right, this one here, the next one. This is your posies. 60% of your posies have now sold out and gone. The next one I've got for you here, this is the scribbled floral that you've got. 40% of this one has sold out and gone. Now, the next one, Oh, it's the leaves. I love the leaves. Half the stock has gone, guys, and there is a lot of you in the ordering process for the leaves. I think the leaves and the grey mane might be the first two to go. The other one I've got for you here is the Dash Daisies. Perfect background fabric. 40% of this one has sold out and gone. Let's move into the pinks, because with the pinks, this one just here is your scribbled floral. 50% of this one has sold out and gone. Now the next one here, this is your floral imprint in the pink. 60% gone here as well. You see a theme here, don't you? Now the Dash Daisies, sorry, in the pink, 35%, over a third of that one has sold out and gone. Now we've got the leaves for you in the pink as well. 30% of these have now sold out and gone. Right, I'm going to move over and go to the melons that we've got over here. So the melons are absolutely beautiful. They really are gorgeous. We're going to start with the scribbled floral. So you can see this is your scribbled floral in the melon, which is fantastic. Half the stock here has sold out and gone. The next one I've got for you is this one, which is the floral imprint, as you can see. Half the stock here has sold out and gone, if you want to go for the floral imprint. I'll just give you those details, there you are. The next one I've got for you is this one, the Dash Daisies in the melon. 40% of that one has gone. It is so busy, so many of you in the ordering process as well. Now, we're going to move on to the mint. Now, this is the posy in the mint. 60% of this one has sold out and gone. The next one I've got for you is the Meadow Lane mane as well in the mint. 40% of this one has sold out and gone. That's it for the mints. Right, off-white, the mane, the Meadow Lane mane, 40% of this one has sold out and gone. Bearing in mind, guys, we're not even halfway through this show yet, so it really is very, very busy out there. This one here, this is your posies in the off-white. 60% of that one has sold out and gone already, so you will need to be quickly for that. And then finally, the last option I've got for you is the cream leaves. Half of the cream leaves have sold out and gone. So now what I've got, I'm just going to check in with you all on social media and see what you are all up to. Remember, any questions that you've got, you can get them into me. I'll speak to Lizzie and ask her in a moment, but I think towards maybe about 20 past 2 UK time, we should do a bit of a stitch school. What do you think? We could put any questions that you've got over to Lizzie and she can let us know. Could be stuff, could be questions about fabrics, could be questions about, I know, zips, could be about quilting, could be about dressmaking. I mean, she is a stitching superstar, Lizzie, so she's going to be able to answer all of your questions, I am sure. Lisa, says, I don't sew, but these fabrics are so pretty, they make me want to start. You don't need to sew, you know. They make great appliques that you could die cut, and then you could actually just stick them onto projects if you wanted to. Questions from Mavis and Diana, we'll come back to them when we do our stitch school bit. Evelyn saying, I want to come and hang out in the room that Lizzie's in. It looks so beautiful, bright and cosy. She could start selling tickets. It could be a little experience day, obviously, when we're allowed to. Eleanor says, even though I don't sew anymore, I still love to watch all the things being made. A question from Karen. Again, I'm going to save that one. Marisol says, I'd love to learn sewing. Mariah saying, Lizzie and her space is set up so beautifully. Thank you for the presentation, all the information. Katie says, Lizzie's demonstrations are always so much fun. Gemma says, I haven't had my sewing machine out for a while and these fabrics are making me want to sew. Fred says, wow, magic. Lizzie made that look so simple, enough that I could even give it a go. Mariah says she uses Material Magic as well to turn fabrics into paper-like materials. Absolutely, you could. When Lizzie was talking about the box dies, she was referring to the double-sided box dies that were on Craft Vault this morning, and they will be back up on Craft Vault at 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, when I'm joined by Sara for that show. So make sure you join me there if you can. Now, there's a lot of you with these in your basket at the moment. I know a lot of the stock's gone, but a lot of you are in the ordering process. What I'm going to do is give you an opportunity to check out your baskets, and whilst you do that, why don't I share with you all the information on how you can watch and shop at the same time. Hi, I'm Joe from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can grab the best deals and shop whilst you watch during our shows. So the best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. Head on over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV. You can see all of our shows, offers, and even shop while you watch. Now, if you want to get involved and comment along, head over to our Facebook page. Come say hello, ask us some questions, and lol with us. or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even AirPlay directly onto your big screen. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easier to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. Absolutely, we do create every day. I told you guys, didn't I, that we were in the position whereby I thought if you all checked out, then we'd probably be very far along with the stock. I'm kind of gutted, but super pleased to say that I've got to tell you about 2 sellouts already, because the first one here was the grey mane. That one sold out and gone, and also this one here, the Dash Daisies, they have also sold out and gone. Congratulations if you got your hands on them. You need to check out your baskets, because I think that shows you that if those 2 have just gone, any of these could go in the next demonstration that the lovely Lizzie is going to take us through. Julie Jones says hi from North Wales, love these fabrics. Lizzie, are you okay? I was just talking about it there. I don't know if you heard me, Lizzie. About sort of 15 minutes past 2, 20 past 2. You're right if we do a little bit of a stitch school, we do a bit of a Q&A. What do you reckon?
I think that would be absolutely super, Joe. Yeah, I'm always up for that.
Fantastic.
If I don't know, I'll always say I never guess, but if I know it, you'll get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, Lizzie, we better not do it till then, because I think we need to get as many demonstrations in on this fabric before it sells out. These 2 already sold out and gone. I think the rest are going to be going the same way. So I'm going to quit my jibber jabber and let you get on with it, Lizzie.
Okay, fine. I can never hear you anyway when I'm chattering away, Joe. So it's a lost cause, really, isn't it? So we're going to make this pouch. Now, it really won't take long. I'm going to try and stitch to get it through so we can finish it. Now, I made this one, as you know, in the off-white main fabric, and I'm going to demo it in the grey. So you'll have to forgive me because I know that's sold out. But any of these fabrics are going to work, okay? And I'm using the scribbled in pink. Now, what we're going to use is the zip on a roll. So you've seen this before just a moment ago, and it's absolutely super. So please fill your baskets with those zips on a roll. I promise you won't be disappointed with those. So what we're starting off with now, this pattern is it's a free pattern on my website. So if you go to lizzycurtis.com, and I think they've got a link for you somewhere, this is a free pattern. So if you go to the shop, you'll see all the sort of descriptions of what's in the shop, but go to free patterns, you will find the pattern for this, and you'll also find the pattern for these 2 little pouches, okay? They're all little pouches, really, bags, pouches, and they're free to you, okay, especially, and they've been made with the Riley Blake fabric. So they look right up to date, okay? So please go along there, fill your boots, take as many as you want. But yeah, so that's what we're going to make. So let's quickly crack on. Now, actually cut the zip. Now, you'll think to yourself, well, look at that, it's enormous. And I have to say, that's what I always do. And I'll tell you why. Because zips to some people are like, I don't know, wasps to me, frighten me to death. So what I can do with long zip like this is move that slider out of the way. Okay, so that slider is way out of the way. That's the width of my fabric, and you can see that it's hanging over ever such a lot. But that's the beauty of zips on a roll. You can cut more than what you need. And you know what? I would say, even if you're the most experienced stitcher, don't cut that width. Cut longer, because you can still get that slider out of the way. So. Nice piece of fabric with a bit of wadding on there. Sprayed that on with our stick and spray for fabric. Using an 80-20 wadding, and I'm using the grey mane, but you could use any one of these fabrics. So right sides together, okay? So the slider is your right side. So if you're looking at your slider, that's your right side of the fabric. Flip it over. Okay, and we're going to stitch right sides together. So get it so that zip is sort of right in the middle there. Pop it under your machine with your zipper foot on. It's always handy to have the zipper foot, to put your zipper foot on, especially for this. And then all you're going to do is stitch across. Now, my zipper foot is ridiculous. It doesn't stitch right up to the teeth, but that doesn't matter. And you're just going to stitch all the way along. Now, your zipper foot will never jump over the teeth of your zip, okay? I promise. I promise that'll never happen because it's got that stability there. So already we've stitched across there, look, easy peasy lemon squeezy, flip that over and we've got the most amazing seam there. Now, because my zip foot, I want you to have a look at this, it's important, it doesn't get close up to the teeth. In some ways that's quite good because then you're seeing the glorious colour of that ocean blue zipper, isn't it glorious? But what I want to do now is stitch the other side. So I'm bringing short side of my other end up. Don't forget we're doing right sides together again, guys. So I'm just lining that up. You can see there, I'm lining it up the other side. And I'm just going to stitch down there again. And you can see my slider is way, way, way out of the way. It's not going to give me any bother at all. So again, right sides together. Let me just move that little bit there. There we go. And you're just going to do exactly the same again. Now you can't see your zip, but the zipper foot will always follow the teeth of the zip. And you mustn't be afraid of that. That's what they've been designed for. So I'm doing this blind, but my foot, I can feel it up against the zipper teeth there. But take your time, go really slow. You don't have to rush. But there we are, that is the zip installed. And if we turn that through to the right side, there we go. Turn it through to the right side eventually. Here we go. You can see now that I've got that zipper installed. And it was 2 seams, guys. I'm going to do lining as well. But what
Lizzie,
I really want to
Lizzie, I'm so sorry.
That, so it's lovely and neat.
Lizzie, I'm so sorry. I always hate interrupting our experts, but I need to let you know.
Something happening?
Something is happening, yes. The Meadow Lane mane has gone in all colourways, is what's happened. But I've had lots of sellouts. I just quickly need to run you through those sellouts and what they are. We've lost another 3 of the greys here for you. So the first one is the leaves, which we've lost, which is this one just here. That's gone. Congratulations if you've got it. The other one we've lost is this one just here, the floral imprint. Congratulations if you got your hands on it. We've also lost the scribble floral in the grey as well. Congratulations if you've got that. I'll tell you the others in a second. The only one that's left in the grey is the posies. You're going to need to be quick for that. The other ones I've lost are the off-white in the Meadow Lane mane, and we've also lost the mint in the Meadow Lane mane as well. There are a lot of other colours that are not far behind. If you have them in your basket, please, please, please check them out if you want them. So that's 7 sellouts that we've already had in the first 50 minutes of this show. That is almost half of the new selection. So please be quick. Sorry about that, Lizzie. I just didn't want people frustrated, not able to check out those baskets.
You did absolutely the right thing. That is a public health warning. Never mind anything.
It really is. It really is.
A stitcher, whatever you want to call yourself, you need to get these. And whatever's left, please go and have a look because you won't be disappointed. They are quilting weight fabrics. Don't think these are polycottons or a lightweight cotton fabric. These are quilting weight. And I can assure you there's a huge difference between a lightweight cotton, a French cotton perhaps, and a polycotton to a quilting weight cotton. And because we're looking at Riley Blake, they're renowned in the industry, their standards in quilting cotton. So go and fill your boots, please. But I'll carry on with my demonstration. So what we've got to was that we'd actually installed the zip and we put the zip in both sides. And while you were talking to Joe, while you're listening to Joe, I actually split my zip. So I want you to have a look. So I split my zip. So here's my slider, and my slider is still okay. If you want to feel nervous about that open end, stitch it, or get one of your quilting clips and put that on the end of your zip. Quite simply, that'll stop your slider from sort of travelling along too far. And what we need to do now is just top stitch that. So I'm going to start from the end that's open. I'm just going to run it under the machine. I've still got my zipper foot on, and of course you can change that if you want to. You can put your regular foot on now, but I'm going to keep my my fabric pretty much how it was If you wanted to, you can actually move that fabric up so it's a little bit closer to the zip teeth. But you don't have to. I mean, I've got a peculiar zipper foot, but you've probably got a regular one. So I'm doing this quite quickly, guys. So what we've done is we've stitched that down beautifully. That's lovely and neat, but I'm going to do the other side. This time I'm going to start from the end where the zip slider is. And because I've opened that zip up, because I can, because it's a zip on a roll. Now, if you've never used a zip on a roll before, I want you to just get one. Just get one, and then you'll see why I always promote them. If you think about it, let's be honest, I'm an independent demonstrator. I can use any product I want to use, okay? And I have had people contact me to say, please will you demonstrate my zippers? And no, I won't. I will always use these zips on a roll because they are such great quality. And if ever you want to do a project where you're only using half a zip, I'm serious, when it's just that bit and you want to put the slider back onto your zip and join both ends up, these are the best quality to do that and the one that's the easiest, I promise you. So now what we've done is we've top stitched, we've made it beautifully neat. When we now need to stitch the lining, so we need to turn that through again. And like I say, don't be afraid of the zipper. You could, like I say, you could stitch that in there just to make sure it doesn't come off. But I trust these zips so much that if it did come off, I'm not going to worry at all. So what we need to do is stitch now the right side of the lining to the inside, if you like, of the bag. So I want you to have a quick look. Again, it's right sides together. So I'm going to pop my fabric over the top there. So my right side is facing down onto the back of the zip. Okay, and let me just hold that up so you can see. So my lining is right sides down onto the back of the zip. And I'm going to start about a ½ an inch in, okay, and I'm going to finish ½ an inch in. Now we've got a tiny little seam there because the way my zip foot is. So I'm just going to catch that on that zip. So I'm just going to pop it under my machine and start stitching. So you'll find, depending on your zipper foot, that you can work out what your seam allowance is. You can do this at the same time as putting the lining in, but really we want to stitch a ½ an inch away from the start and the finish. So I'm just coming along here. So I'm going to finish there. And I don't know if you noticed, but I started right at the end. You absolutely don't want to do that, so I'll unpick that shortly. Then I want you to have a look. So we've done the lining, so that's all beautifully installed. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to stitch the short edge of my lining to the wrong side of the zip, just like I did before. So I'm bringing those sides together. Let me show you on the front what that looks like, because it's much better when it's a visual. I have actually done a Facebook Live and a video on this. So if you look on YouTube, you'll see this. But there is the back of the zip, okay? And let's just show you on the side camera, because I think it might be easier. So look, there we go. So there is the other side. So we've stitched one half. I lift it up. We've stitched that half, yeah? But what I want to do is stitch this one. So just bring over your short end of your lining, okay? And just place it over the top of the back of your zip. And you're just going to stitch those together. So if I flip that, I want you to see what I'm looking at. So I'm going to stitch along here, okay? And like I say, you don't have to do this now. You could have done it when you put the main bag together, but I like to leave a ½ an inch gap, and it all will become obvious when I come to stitch it together, I promise. And like I say, I have done a video for this, so if you do pop along and get the pattern and you get the fabric and you want to do exactly the same as me, I have done a full proper video tutorial, so you can follow that. But this is going to give you the absolute inspiration that we need at this time. You know what, we're all getting a little bit tired, I think, of being in our houses. So I'm just snip away this end, because on that first one, if you remember, I stitched that 1/2 inch. I absolutely didn't want to. So it's not do as I, what is it? Not do as I do as I say, something like that. So I'm just do as I say, not as I do. I'm glad somebody in my ear. So I'm just moving that zip slider now along. So if I turn this through, let's turn it through. And ideally, all of these parts you're going to press. Okay, you're going to press that lining to make it beautiful. Let's just snip some of these pieces away. Let's just move that slider along. And because you're pressing the fabric, it'll sort of fold it back and it won't get caught in your zip, because I'm pretty sure I'm getting it caught in my zip. Let's just take it along and take it back. And there we've got sort of a kind of like a pouch happening with it all fully lined inside. But what we want to do is to actually stitch it all together. So what I'm going to do is just turn it through to the wrong side again. I know this looks a bit fiddly, but I promise you it's not. And then, let me just get that open. There we go. And what we need to do, to get this effect, where you've got the zip sort of about 1.5 inches down, this is where we kind of move everything to suit. So look, let's just bring those, ignore the lining, this outer fabric, we're just bringing down. So that zip is about 1.5 inches down from the top. I've folded the fabric. If I get that lining out of the way, you'll be able to see what that looks like. Okay? Let's do it like that. So you're about 1.5 inches down from the top. That's how it should look. And I'm going to stitch all the way down this side, and you'll think, well, the lining's going to get in the way. It won't, because because I only stitched from the first 1/2 inch, can you see I can now stitch down both of those sides with that lining out of the way. So all you've got to do is to make sure that you've got your zip teeth together. So around about 1/2 inch is fine. Make sure those teeth are together. So I'm moving my lining out of the way. I'll stitch it and then I'll show you. I'm going over my zip teeth, right down to the bottom. And that is the most generous 1/4 inch I've ever stitched in my life. And if you want to have a look at that now, there we go. I've put my zip there, but that's okay. That's just a pleat. And then you can cut that away. We don't need that anymore. Okay, you can see how that looks. That's your seam. And you can see why now I didn't stitch 1/2 inch beginning on my lining. Let's shove that out of the way. Come across to the other side. Make sure it's nice and flat. Make sure your zip slider is still inside your bag. And then we're going to stitch down this side. So I'm moving my lining out of the way, and I'm going to stitch all down there. Just make sure, whatever happens, your zip is open, because at some point we're going to have to turn through. So let's pop it down on the desk, flatten it out, get it squared up. So this time I'm starting at the bottom, and I'm just coming back up. I'm moving my lining fabric out of the way. Let me just move that so you can see. So I'm moving my lining fabric right out of the way. I'm making sure that my zip teeth are still meeting. You know what? This is more like 1/2 inch seam allowance, but I won't tell if you don't. Keeping my teeth together, and I think that's gritted teeth, Joe, gritted teeth. Breaking my threads. Cutting that end of the zip off, making sure your slider has been moved before you cut. And you can see that's the other side. That's what it looks like, okay? So we haven't touched the lining yet. So this is when we stitch the lining. Hurrah! So all you need to do is make sure that both pieces are sitting nicely on top of each other, okay? So just line them up, get them nice and crispy. Make sure you've opened your zip. We're also going to have a turning gap as well. So now, if I move that, flip that front bit down, I can now stitch right along that edge of the lining, going across a single piece of fabric and 2 folds. Can you see what that looks like? And I'm going to stitch from this finger here to up to the top, which I don't have a finger spare. But that will then join my lining together. So let's do that. Now this is, like I say, this is a free pattern. And this I have made, I've made a good half a dozen. If you go on to, we've got a special Making It Monday Facebook group. If you go on there, you'll see another 20 or 30 of these made. So let me show you. That's what it looks like. That's what you should be aiming for with the two folds here. Okay, that's absolutely right. I'm going to try and get it in the right place. There you go. And I've stitched all the way along. This time I'm going to leave a turning gap on the other side of about there. Okay, so I'm just going to flip it round. And try and always have the fabric on your left. Sometimes it's tempting to put the fabric under the throat of your machine. Right, let's just stitch along there. Catch that first little fold. Go over a single layer of fabric, and I'll show you again if you want. I'm going to stitch about 1 inch. I'll show you when I've done. I'm going to do a back stitch, break my threads, coming down, and I'm doing the last inch. Now, at this stage, and I'll miss this bit out, because we're always on a time limit. But if you want to box the corners or the bottom, so if you want a boxy bottom, ladies, this is your moment to shine. Because measure 1/2 inch, so you're measuring a 1/2 inch box here, cut that out, and you know how you're going to pinch that together to get your boxy seam. If you don't know what I'm talking about, have a look at the video and have a look at the pattern instructions. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm going to leave it like that. But you'll notice that on this side, just do it so you can see, I've stitched across, I've left a turning gap, and you see that? And I've stitched along. Did you see I've got a single layer of fabric there? That's exactly how you want it to be. So don't think you've done anything wrong. And then we're just going to turn through. Now, if the wind is in the right direction and the sun's shining on me, a bit like the righteous, it will end up with a pouch. Or it could be an unmitigating disaster. But I don't think so. Because first of all, I'm working with high quality products. I'm working with products that I can trust. So it means that I'm going to get the perfect result every single time I use these products, these zips on a roll, these types of fabrics where we're using quilting cotton. And all I'm doing now is pushing my lining into the corners. I haven't boxed my bottom, ladies and gents. You may want to. I'm going to leave it flat. For the interests of public hygiene, I'm keeping my bottom flat. For anybody else, they might need a boxy bottom. But, you know. And look, where we've got these corners that need poking out, okay, I'll do it so you can see. Do you see how it goes off to an angle? Just get something blunt. Not ideal. Get something blunt. One moment cooler. Chopstick. Look at that. That's a bit posh, Joe. And poke that through. If you find that doesn't work, you've still got a turning gap in there. So pop your pokey tool, whatever you're going to use, inside the turning gap and get in that way. That's always the best way. But something like that, you can poke those corners out, get them absolutely gorgeous, and there's your pouch. Now you might wonder what happens at this end here, where we had the lining wasn't stitched. Well, if we turn it through, and if I hold it nicely, you'll end up with that. Okay, that's how it looks. And you'll have to either glue it, and please glue it with our Collel fabric glue because it's absolutely brilliant, or you can hand stitch that, or if you're anything like me, you leave it because you move on to other things. And there's a lot of thread there which I could cut off. So that's all you're left with to hand stitch, just those two ends of those zips. But what you've got there is the most amazing little pouch. And if you buy a 1/2 metre of fabric, ladies and gents, you'll be able to make about, well, let me think, at least six, perhaps more, of these wonderful little pouches. And that's a nice little project that you can do on an afternoon where, and use your scraps up, make a patchwork piece and then make the pouch. So there we are, easy as that.
Oh, fabulous, Lizzie. Looks absolutely awesome. I know you've got loads you want to share with us, Lizzie. I'm just going to recap everything and go back through what we've got left because it is really, really busy here and on the website at the moment. So I'm going to recap all these awesome deals. I'll come back to you in a second, Lizzie, and we'll do those questions and answers as well in a moment, if that's okay. Right, so I want to start with, firstly, this one. That is the only one that I have left in the greys. It is the posies, the Meadow Lane posies. You get a half-metre piece there, of course, which is absolutely awesome. $7.19 or $8.98. It is very, very busy there. It's got so busy my hair started sticking up again. I don't know, I don't touch it and it still sticks up. What's that all about? Next one, we're going to move into the pinks. So this one I've got here firstly for you. This one, that is the scribbled floral. Oh, sold out. Scribbled floral sold out. Right, next one is this one. Floral imprint in the pink. We've still got that one available. Excellent. Right, the next one is this one, which is the dashed daisies. Sold out. Congratulations if you've got it. We've got pink leaves is the other one just here. I feel this is tense. It's like the X Factor finals. This one is available. Okay, brilliant. Right, into the melon. And we're into the scribbled floral in the melon. Sold out. Congratulations if you got it. We are into the imprint floral imprint. That one's okay. We've still got that one in stock. The dash daisies in the melon. That's okay. We've still got that one in stock. Now we've got the posies in the mint. That one's still in stock. We also have the posies in the off-white. It's okay, it's in stock. Whew, sorry, long pause there from Georgina. I thought it had gone. We're all right, my little cream horns, don't you worry. We've still got some of that long left. The cream, the leaves, we've still got that one. So, we've got the posies available mostly and a couple of the leaf ones. You're going to have to be quick though, guys, because what we do have left in those colours is very low in stock. Am I right in thinking they're all sort of over 70%, Georgina? Okay, all of them are over 70%. There's a lot of you in the ordering process at the moment. What I'm going to do is give you a chance to check out your baskets. I understand you love watching Lizzie's demonstrations, absolutely as you should, but I would hate for you to miss out on things because you have so... you're so interested in the demonstration. So we're going to give you a moment. What we're going to do for any newbies that are out there, we love getting new viewers all the time. We're going to share with you all the fantastic details of Club Inspire. Take a look.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money-saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the crafty makes. We'll send you a completely free quarterly Digimag direct into your inbox, giving you lots of hints, tips, inspiration, additional offers and some sneaky behind the scenes gossip from the team. So what are you waiting for? Become a member of our club today.
All the details there, Club Inspire, very, very busy across the website. What I would say is check the web, and what is there available on the website you can grab. I understand that a few people that had the greys in their basket haven't checked out, and there might be a couple of them bounce back on the website. Just have a look. What I'd say is just get over to the website, have a look, and if your favourite's there and you can get it in your basket and get it checked out, then it's yours. It's not yours until you've checked out. It is so busy on the website at the moment. It's a bit of a scrum over there. So we will get to each and every one of you, don't you worry. What I would love to do, Fred says for my hair, I need stick and stay. Oh my gosh, Fred, I think you've hit on something. I could just stick and stay it all down like flat to my head. I think that would be absolutely awesome. Adorable little pouch, says Mary. Cheryl says she's loving the show. Mary says, I must admit the greys are my favourite. I can see why they're selling so quickly. Deborah's never used the zip on a roll and she's been sewing over 50 years. Maybe today is the day. What I'd love to do is I'd love to put a few of these questions over to Lizzie. I mean, I don't know what's going on now. Look, I look like something out of Grease in the musical now. Lizzie, I've got loads and loads of questions coming in. I'd love to put some of those to you. Anne, the lovely Anne in Connecticut, would like to know how many zipper pulls are on each zip roll.
10. You get 10 zipper sliders on the 5 meters. And quite honestly, this is why I always say to you, if you're going to use zip on a roll, and I promise you, you look at anything that I've created, any video I've created, I always cut a really long length, because then I can get that zip slider, the zipper pull, out of the way, so it doesn't confuse me or get in my way or become a nuisance. And you've got all of that meterage to be able to do that. Now, I know you guys, you will end up with a ton of zippage and no sliders. Now, these are sliders number 3. That's really important you remember that. It's number 3. So if you look on anywhere else, as I don't think we sell them, but you can look anywhere else, the usual places, you will find extra sliders. And I keep looking like that because in my other room, I've got a tower of zips on a roll, as it happens. And I've also got spare sliders that I have in other places to actually attach to the zips, and it's really easy to do. I promise you, you won't. I mean, I can show you if you want. If you've got time, I can show you. I'll find my extra bit of zipper. I'm looking around my room to see if I can see it.
Well, you could show us a little bit later in the show if you want, Lizzie. Might be a nice idea. I've got so many questions here, honestly. There's absolutely tons of them. Katie would like to know if we do bring favourites back, or that is it. We'll work really hard to get these back in stock, no doubt about that. They've been so popular. Julie Jones would like to know, which machine are you using, Lizzie? And also, are the stitches that you've used common stitches across all machines?
Do you know what? That is such a good question, because obviously, I have I've got 17 sewing machines.
Wow.
Okay? Let's just knock that one on the head, because it's my job, it's my life, it's what I do 24 hours a day, it seems, 7 days a week. Okay. The machine that I use all the time is my Juki. All it does is a straight stitch. So it's really, really, really not suitable for domestic use, okay? I use this because it's incredibly fast and it only does a straight stitch, which is 90% of what we do is a straight stitch. So that's no good for anybody at home. If I need to do anything like a zigzag or an overlock or a decorative stitch, I'll get one of my other machines out. That machine that we have is absolutely brilliant. The Pro, that is absolutely brilliant. Stitch Pro. I had to try to remember what that was. Or is that the overlocker? See, it's gone.
No,
it's gone
Stitch Pro, you've got it. You nailed it first time.
This is what happens when you get old, Joe. You remember it 1 minute.
You're not old.
Don't
Give me that old story. A lot of people are asking as well, what is the purpose of a backstitch? Karen would like to know.
Right, a backstitch actually is, it can be overdone. Let's get that one out there straight away. So when you do a backstitch, you're going forward 2 or 3 stitches, you're going back 2 or 3 stitches, okay? And that locks it. So it's a lock stitch really, and it stops so for instance, if with that 9 patch we did, of which I've obviously immediately lost, but that 9 patch we did, because I've cut the stitches, if I was to hold those seams and pull, it would come undone by 3, 4, 5 stitches. When we do a lock stitch, a back stitch, it locks that, and it means that that won't come apart. So if you're stitching something that's on a round, for instance, a bag corner, something like that, and you've got a seam, if you pull near that seam, it's gonna split the stitches. So a back stitch will help. Now, really, really quickly, when you do a back stitch, I want you to all promise that this is what you're going to do. Just go forward 2 stitches, go back 2 stitches. Please don't go 10 stitches back. No need. It becomes really ugly. If it's on an inside seam, okay, fair enough, I'll let you off. But most of the time, for instance, when we put a zip in, look at that, looks gorgeous. When we put a zip in, you don't want to see a load of back stitching. So 2 stitches forward, 2 stitches back. And you may well have a fancy machine that does a lock stitch, in which case I'll keep quiet, but that is what it's for protecting your the seams at the ends.
Awesome, thank you, Lizzie, for that. Sandra was asking about getting these as fat quarters. Now, I think I may have said it earlier, but I don't know if I was truly... You know when you make a statement, Lizzie, but it sounds like a question? That's what I did. I'm really good at that, skirting between statement and question. But she would like fat quarters. Now, am I right in thinking that you could cut these down into fat quarters?
Oh, totally. And I know why she's asking that. It's because it's a small amount of fabric to work with. But I just want to kind of put that one to bed as well. It's a bit like a myth, really. I understand that fat quarters are really, really useful, and you'll see me using fat quarters a lot. But if you get a 1/2 metre of fabric, nearly every pattern that you get, apart from dressmaking, let's forget about dressmaking, but any pattern that you get for a bag, for a quilt, for a table runner, for a cushion, for pouches, gosh, you name it, 1/2 metre, always 1/2 metre. Sometimes you can get away. I mean, for instance, the little pouches that I made, the little they're called mini moppies, my little mini moppies, which is a free pattern. Use the poses on that. I think a fat quarter would be absolutely fine. But to be perfectly honest, I know you guys. You'll make one and you'll want to make another 6 So a 1/2 metre or 1/2 yard is actually, it's a better option. I'll be honest with you there. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree totally with you, Lizzie, there, I must say. And the great thing, of course, about buying for us, if you order multiples of the same one, we will cut it by the meterage for you. So if you want a couple of metres of one, as long as it's in stock, knock yourself out. Lots of people are very impressed by your sewing machine count there. Deborah says 17 machines, wow. Mariah has got 2 machines. One's a straight stitch, one's an overlocker, and she's also got an embroidery machine as well. I agree, Lizzie, I hate to see a lot of back stitches, says Deborah. She agrees with you there. Mary, she says, I've only got a measly 10 sewing machines compared to Lizzie's 17. Now, Lizzie, I know we are on the verge of losing yet more of these gorgeous fabrics, so I think it's important that maybe we try and get through as much as we can before they all totally sell out. What do you think?
It sounds like a plan to me. You know me, Joe, I've always got something to show and tell.
Absolutely.
I wanted to just sort of reference this behind me, which I have to say, from a distance, it looks a bit of a mismatch. If we could look at it better, I'd get it down and show you. But this is actually, looks a bit creased there. This is actually what's called a carpenter's star. Okay, so you can look that up. So you can see the sort of centre design there, and you've got a star shape going on, but it actually travels out quite a way over there. Now, I want you to have a look at this, because this is really important. It's all been made with half square triangles. Okay, it's simply as that, nothing difficult. We talked about squares earlier. This is just as easy. And what I've done is I've picked out like 2 sort of shades of the same colour, you know, same fabric. So I've used the grey tones here to make these sort of diamond shapes. And then here I've used the melon as the main design. You can't see it very well. If I come over here, and you can see the melon in the imprint and the leaves, and that's actually off white, but you've got the melon in there, really works well. And you can see, look at that pink down there, how it works really well. So how do we get it to look like that? Right. So what I've done is, and this is replicating the size of this quilt. So with borders and sashing and all of that, it would end up fitting a double-sized bed quite easily. And I've done it in blocks. In fact, let me show you. I'm going to show you on the side camera. This is what I sketched out in my little book, right? I have a little book, that I sketch in, and it's gridded, so it's easier for me to work out. And this is a quarter of what I've done. This is a quarter, okay? And then I've obviously done 4 quarters, and that's how I've joined it together. I'm sorry, it's my book, it's really rough, but it tells you that these are my greys. These are, I call them orange, but they're melon. And these are the pinks. Oh, sorry, the pinks are here. The pinks are here. So I kind of changed my mind a little bit. And that's what I sketched out in my book on the grid. So I know that my sizes are correct. And all I'm going to do is replicate that. And because of that, it always works. So you can do the same. But when you break it down, you're going to just do 1 row at a time. So you might want to do that row first. Or you might want to do that row first, okay? And once you start to break it down, it becomes a little bit more doable. So how do we get to that? So what I've got is I've just got off-white fabric, which I know you'll find on the website, some off-white fabric, or white on white fabric works well because it's got a little print on it and it suits this fabric. So what I've got is 2 8-inch squares, okay? So you've got, this is your white, so you really want something that's going to lift that star up, so white or a nice light cream. I'm going to put my melon right side down onto, this is the melon imprint, I'm going to put it right side down onto my white on white. I'm going to get my beautiful ruler and also my threaders erasable pen, but of course you could use, to be honest, you could use a pencil. And then what you're going to do is point to point, so hopefully you can see that okay. You're going to draw a line, and you might have seen this before, but it's always nice to have a refresher. And you think, oh my goodness me, we're drawing on fabric, whatever next. But look, there we go. I've drawn my line going all the way through. Now to stop that moving, get a couple of pins. I would say use pins because clips sometimes can be too heavy on a 1 or 2 layers of fabric. So 2 pins. So what I'm going to do now, I've got on my machine, I've got my 1/4 inch foot, and I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch away from that line. So if I just show it like that, I'm going to stitch down this side here, and then I'm going to stitch down that side there using my foot. Now, if you heard me before, I said it doesn't really matter if you haven't got a 1/4 inch foot. Okay, we're not going to lose any sleep over that at all. But what you can do is that you could use a marking on your machine. Now, I know you won't be able to see this very well until I've finished, so I'm going to do it and then show you. And you're just going to go down one side. Now, if you were doing lots of these, you would chain stitch, chain piece. So you'd put the next piece up like that, and you'd start stitching down the other side, and you'd carry on. But, you know, we're not doing that today. Turning this round, putting my foot down, I'm going to do one little back stitch there, just to hold that stitching in place. If you've got a walking foot, by all means use a walking foot because you're using layers of fabric, and layers are notorious for shifting. So let me bring that in, see if you can see that. That I've got a line of stitching each side of that blue line, okay? Now, when we get our lovely, I'm going to turn my mat, don't forget, although this is landscape, we can move it to portrait, and I can put my square on the points. Then I'm going to bring in my ruler, and because I'm using flathead pins, it means that I can put my ruler right over the top without it bobbling around. If I use glass head pins, so in other words, let me show you a pin that looks like that. That's not going to help it on my hand, but you can just about see. If I was to use a pin like that, my ruler would wobble about and I wouldn't get a nice cut. But a flathead pin will absolutely work. So I'm keeping everything in place and I'm just cutting right through the centre. Now, if you want to use scissors, you absolutely can, because you've got a line to cut to. So there we are. If I lift my mat up, you can see what I've done. I've just gone right up the middle like that. So how do we get it to look like we had all the others? How did that happen? So let me just switch my little iron on. Let me bring in my little mats, and we're going to iron this open. Now, Let's put our mat back to this way because it looks so much neater. Let's just move those. And the first thing you're going to do is set the seam. So hopefully this is warmed up enough. So you're going to set the seam. And all that means is, it sounds a bit posh, but all it means is that you're pushing the thread, the stitches that you've made, into the fabric. It just makes it lie beautifully. The actual sort of fabric now is crispy. It's what I call crispy. So now all I'm going to do is open it up. And if you want to push your fabric to the darker side, I mean, it's hardly dark fabric, but you'd want the lighter fabric on the bottom and your darker fabric on top. And you could, if you wanted to, finger press this out, but you know what? You've got an iron, let's use it. Make it lovely and crispy, and you're just pushing that seam away from you. And what you'll get is a beautiful, beautiful little square, not quite right yet. Let me just lift it out so you can see. So that's what we've created. And what we want to end up with is a 7.5-inch square, okay? So we're going to use our mat and our ruler to create that. If you've got a larger ruler, then it's brilliant, you can use that. But I'm just going to line it up. I'm going to get it so one of these edges is on one of my white lines. And I'm going to just move it slightly. There we go. So it's on the white line there. And it's in the corner there. So I've got that corner, you can see, right in that 90-degree angle there. And I'm going to cut my square into the perfect 7.5 inches. So just make sure it doesn't move. Line up your ruler with the 1/2-inch marks here. I know difficult to see. Let me twist it so you can see. So my ruler is now sitting on that 1/2-inch line, and you can see, even though I cut my fabric perfectly, I've got a little bit of fabric here to trim away. So let's just get in position, release your blade, don't do it until you're ready, and then push across, okay? And while that fabric is still sitting there beautifully, move your mat. You might want to trim that side there. Obviously, of course you can. But again, line up your ruler with the 1/2-inch mark. We see here. Pop your fingers down only, open your blade up and just push across. Now that has now created me the perfect 7.5-inch square. I mean, that's perfection. And when, of course, when you've made quite a few of these, and if you took a screenshot of that design that I did, you'll know they're going to make a few. You can then start adding them together with the other ones that you've made. Let me just find a few that make a bit of sense. And you can start making your design. So if you remember, I said to you, bring your melons in together. So bring your sort of this toning colours in together, and you can see then you've got that beautiful shape that's part of that quilt design. Here we've got that grey, which I'm not sure we've got any more of that grey, but I'll show you anyway. Then maybe you want to match that grey up and put the pairs of greys together like that. Or if I move my board, you can bring it down and put it across like that. Bear with. This is where you need an extension on your house. And you can see again that you've got that beautiful diamond shape of the greys. And can you see how well that's working? But from two very simple squares of 8 inches, you end up with perfectly cut 7.5-inch squares, and then you can go on to create. And quite honestly, even if you've got just masses of, look, I've got all these spares here because of course I go mad, and all of these can be used in another project. I mean, look, I've got the grey poses there. Just a few. And then you've got the imprint there, so you can see how that works. So you'll end up making loads. I've got spare whites as well. So look at me, I've now got a desk full of pieces ready to make another quilt with, or cushion. So there we are, Jo. What do you think to that? Do you think you'd be inspired?
Oh, absolutely. Our viewers are absolutely inspired as well. One of my New Year's resolutions for last year, Lizzie, was learning to sew, and, well, not really much happened last year, did it? So maybe this year maybe this year, fingers crossed, when we can, you know, do a bit of face-to-face learning, I'm determined to give it a go.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I don't need anything complicated. Truly, if you got the quilting starter kit, because that really does have everything you need. You've got the self-healing mat, the ruler, the rotary cutter. That's your absolute starter for 10. And even if you're a dressmaker, actually, these are all useful products to have in your stash as if you're a dressmaker. And then all you need is start with, often people say, oh, get a machine that you want to grow into. And that's not a bad piece of advice. But get a machine that you feel comfortable with, because if you have a machine with an awful lot going on the front, you can imagine, there's a lot of pictures and designs and buttons and things to press and dials to turn. If that's enough to frighten anybody. So get a machine where there's not too much going on, but you've got enough stitches there. Straight stitch, zigzag. Straight stitch, zigzag.
And it'll be good to go.
Because from those 2 stitches, you can create anything you want. And listen, years and years and years ago, I used to make dresses for Harrods, Harvey Nichols, Neiman Marcus in New York. I made a dress for Princess Diana.
Oh.
Now, all of those things I made on a basic machine. It had a few embroidery stitches, but I never used them. I used a basic straight stitch and a basic zigzag. And I made dresses for those high-end stores using the most beautiful cotton and silks and crepe de chine. So you don't need anything fancy. Don't think you need anything fancy. Just keep it really within your limits so you're not frightened of it when you look at it.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Lizzie. Top advice from our stitching superstar there, Lizzie. Right, Lizzie, I mean, I'm going to have to go back and show you the one fabric that's left in stock and maybe preview a few other items as well. I will be coming back to you very, very shortly. Right. The off-white pose is the only one, or the off-white pose is also gone? The off-white posy, the mint's gone. They've all gone, basically. The off-white posy is the only one that we currently have there in stock at the moment on the website. Now, there are hundreds of half meters in baskets at the moment that are in the checkout process. And what that means is, periodically on our website, some of these are bouncing back in and out of stock as people either don't check out or we take them out of baskets. So what I would say is, hang tight. Give it maybe 10, 15 minutes. Let everything settle. Let the dust settle, and then go back and have a look again on the website in about 10 minutes' time to see what's been checked out and what hasn't. Maybe a few will bounce back. What I would also say is that we are working very, very hard to try and secure some more stock. Now, obviously, Crafters Companion, we supply lots of different people. We have a supply here at Crafters TV. There was obviously a supply that went to Creating Craft, which sold out as well. But if we can redistribute and move some stock around after the show, we will do that if we can. That's not a promise that it will happen, but what I would definitely say is, if you don't manage to secure the fabric that you want before the end of this show, maybe give it a couple of hours and then come back and try again. If we can secure some more stock, I'll tell you what I'll do. If any of it does come back in stock, I will let you know over on my Facebook page, Joe Remnant's Crafters Companion. If any comes back in stock before the end of the day, I'll double check at the end of the day and see what the stock situation is for you. But yes, and I'll certainly let you know as well in the later Craft Vault show, if I can, if there is any left. So we will keep you tuned. But if you want the off-white, you're in luck. If you want the others, doesn't look like you're in luck at the moment. Something else I want to talk to you about is the quilting starter kit, which is this one just here. Now, this is that essential trio of products that Lizzie was using. You've got the rotary cutter there, of course, which is an awesome, awesome rotary cutter. You've got the fantastic ruler there as well. And then you've got that self-healing cutting mat as well. These three together, if you were looking to get into quilting, then this is really what you need. £26 or $33 would be your price to grab hold of those. A few of you still chatting away. Marisol... Marisol's got such a great name, hasn't she? Marisol Oldenburg. She's taking her sewing machine out. You've inspired her, Lizzie. Dee says, to the wonderful Lizzie, I love this new fabric line. Deborah says, yes, those are great tools for any sewer. Too many dials is confusing. And Deborah says, yes, Lizzie is a superstar stitcher. What a great list of clients. I know. Absolutely. Right, I want to just give you a heads up on some of the other stuff that we've got. So, zips on a roll. There are more of these and you can shake a pokey tool at. So, we have got, right, this might be tense. Are you ready? There's a lot. So, we've got the black one. We have also got the red one. We've got the mint. You can go for the denim blue. We have the chocolat. Oh, delicious. Oh, we've also got the soft pink as well, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous tone. Really, really love that, like a baby pink. Zips on it. We've got the limone, which is lemon, obviously, if you are in Italy. I don't know how to say ice grey in Italian, but that's the next one we've got for you. We've also got the blush green. Looks blue here. It is a blush green, I can assure you. We've also got... I mean, you've got to get the purple, the Iconic Crafts Companion Purple there for you as well. We've also got the lilac, which is beautiful, sort of really pastel tone there. You've got the biscuit. I can do that one in Italian. Biscotti. There you go. You've also got the gold as well. Always believe in you, soul. Really beautiful. You've also got the forest green here, which is that one there. Ocean blue, which is one of my favourite songs. You've got that one. And then we also have concealed zips as well. So the concealed zips, that's the kind of zip that you'd find in the back of a really expensive dress so you can't see it. And we've got that in the white, as Craig would say it. We also have it in the gris, as Craig would say it. We've also got it in the denim blue as well, which of course is beautiful for stitching into anything denim. You've got the brown available to you as well. Which is going to work with certainly things like your leathers too. I think we flew through that, didn't we? George's fingers must be on fire in there trying to get through all of those pictures. Now, I know we've only got the one left of one colour away left at the moment. As I said, give it 10-15 minutes, check back on the website if you've missed it out, and maybe then give it an hour or so and try again, and we'll see what we can do. Lots of you chatting away. Randy says, my grandma taught me quilting when I was a lad. She would wait till the suit salesman would come around and would buy his old samples and make quilts out of them. That sounds loads of fun. And loads of you are still chatting away. If you've got any questions before the end of the show, you can get them into me. Now, we are going to go back to Lizzie. Lizzie, you're going to do us a little sort of mini masterclass on the starter kit, I'm being told.
Oh, totally. I mean, can I say that I have these items on my desk every single day, and every time I need to cut anything or measure something, these are the tools that I use. And I would never tell you a lie. On the other side of the self-healing mat, you've got centimetres. Now, and of course the logo. I have to say, I don't know why they didn't put the logo on the inch side, because that's the side I use all the time. But if you get this, it has the centimetres. Now, I'm really, honestly, not a centimetre gal. I only use inches. I'm an old school, I suppose. But if you are a new gal and you like centimetres, you've got those on the back as well. So if you want to convert something, but you need centimetres, you've got it there, which is great. And that doesn't happen very often. But on the other side, you've got the inches. And when I sort of hold it out like this, let me hold it to the side. I wonder if that would be better, if you get a better view. But you can see what you've got. So you've got 1 to 11 going up the side there. And then you've got 1 to 17 going across the bottom. You've also got all of these angles as well. Now, they'll come in handy if you want to cut hexagons, diamonds, all those sort of things. If you're cutting your bias binding, then again, this is great for that, because you've got the 45 degree, you've got the 60 if you want to do hexagons or diamonds, all that sort of thing. So, and you've got the 45 going both ways, so there's no struggling with it. You've also got these sort of benchmarks, if you like. So you've got 5-inch, and you've got a darker sort of darker white, a more bold white. You've got a more bold white at 10, and so on and so forth. So again, visually, it helps. It also helps that you've got these white, it's a white grid on grey, which means it's very visual. You can see it really, really quickly at a glance. Now, if I was to bring my ruler up, I want you to have a look at that, because on there you can just about see, and if I get it lined up, the the yellow lines going across will match exactly the white lines. So again, if you've got it straight, if your fabric is underneath there on a fold, let's say, that's going to line up perfectly with the yellow lines. I wonder if I've got something else I can put underneath. I haven't, but not to worry. You've also got the black lines as well. Now, all of that means that the yellow you'll be able to see on darker fabrics. Sorry for the flash. And you'll see the eighths, the grid, you've got the 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch lines in black. So you'll see that on light fabric. So whether you're using light or dark, this ruler will absolutely help you out. Also, we've got a hanging hook here, so there's a hole just there at the top, and again, you can have that hanging beside you, on beside your on your desk, you get back of the door. But my mum used to put ribbon through all of her rulers, and she used to hang them all together on the end of a cabinet, so she knew exactly where they all were. So you've got the 1 to 12 on that as well, and 1 to 6, and I have to say, out of all of my rulers, I promise you I've got a few. This is the most used ruler. I think I've got about 3 of the Threaders rulers that I've acquired over my 3.5 years. And also I've got other brands as well. But this one is my favourite one because it has the yellow. So the yellow, although when you first look at it, you can't see it much. But when you got it on dark fabric, it absolutely stands out. And then, of course, we go on to the rotary cutter. Now, as I said before, right at the beginning, on mine, you'll see that it has got papercraft on there. If I bring that up and sort of move it a bit, you'll be able to see that it has had papercraft written on there in supposed to be permanent pen. You can see how much I use it because that's worn away. And when I started to do preparation for this show yesterday, I couldn't find my cutting one, my fabric one. I think I know where it is now. So I changed the blade and I put a brand new blade in my paper crafting one. When this blade blunts, I will actually put it to one side and put it back into my paper crafting rotary cutter. And the great thing is it's got a silicone handle and it's got that, you push it and pull back. So you push it and pull back to release that blade. And also it's great, it's easy to change. When you unscrew this, I'll tell you what, I've got a little trick. I'm not going to do it because you can bet anything you like, I'll never get back together again on TV. When you unscrew it, pick it off and put it down exactly how you took it off. So the washer the same, put it down exactly as you took it off, because you're not going to get it wrong. It's just that if you take everything off in the same order, you'll be able to put it back in the same order and it'll all work for you beautifully. But there we are, as simple as that, but absolutely essential.
They really
so
are.
There is your quick tour of the quilting set.
Awesome. They're going very, very quickly as well, Lizzie. I just want to remind everyone that if you are a Club Inspire Platinum member, all of you are getting some sort of Club Inspire discount, of course. Platinum members today, £20.80 in the UK, £26.40 in the US, which is fantastic. I also need to take you through the bag dyes as well. I'm going to share those with you. Let me bring them in because you've got 3 awesome dies here for you. Now, I'm going to just get you the details for these. So, you've got the circular, the backpack, and the satchel, which is what I have got just here in front of me. So, the circular is going to make this for you. Check out the savings here, guys. Club Inspire Platinum members, you are saving $34.99. Sorry, you're saving $37.30 or $50.11. So, it's not far off. Well, it's a really good deal, basically. So you've got the circular one, which is awesome, and I love this. I think this works great as a little pouch as well. Really awesome little bag there for you. That's been done in some of our cork fabrics. So you've got that one. The next one you've got is the satchel. Sara actually made me one of these in the summer, and I still have it at home, and I use it. It's great for if you're going out for a little walk and you want to put a small flask of tea and a few sandwiches in there. Also, what you could do, you could insulate these. You could get some of that insulative wadding and put that in there, and then you could make it a cool bag if you wanted to. Perfect for summer picnics. Is insulative actually a word, or have I just made that up? jury's out, apparently. Apparently it is a word. George has said it's a word, so it must be a word. Now, satchel is what we've also got as well. This is a satchel, I think, as well. You've got options with these bags, remember, because what you could do here is you could not put the ends on. You could actually have that as a nice little clutch bag if you wanted to as well. So think about the options that you've got. You've got a lovely pocket there. You can do it with or without the pocket, and it's got a really nice wide thing. It has got a boxy bottom as well, which is fantastic. All of these bags have got that gusset in them, which is brilliant. So you can go for that one, or you can go for the other ones. I'm going down. I'm just in the basement. I'm coming up. Don't you worry. Is these ones now. Oh, I'm running out of space. Look at all of these awesome bags that I've got. So, this one is just, oh my word. This one here is the carpet bag. This is just, I just love it. I'm going to model it for you. Oh yeah, direct from the runways of Newton Aycliffe. I think it's fantastic. It's such a good size as well. Let me open this up and show it to you. It really is an awesome size. It's so beautifully made. Let me show you this. You got really, I mean, you could get absolutely loads in there. This is those bags. You know you've all got that friend that's got that bag that's got everything in it. It's got everything in it. I mean, there's like bus tickets from 2003, in the bottom of there, and all sorts of different things. This is that bag that's going to get everything in it for you. The next one we've got is the bowling bag, which is this one just here, which is fantastic. We're not talking about bowling after this morning's show. We've got this here, and again, a really nice big size bags. Absolutely, loads that you can get into that one, which is fantastic. So you've got that bowling bag. And we've also got the crossover for you as well. Now the crossover is this one. This one's been done with oilcloth. So this is what we were talking about earlier. We said about treating cotton so it turns into oilcloth. This has been done with that, and I think this is awesome. Really, really lovely. Very beautiful, beautifully lined, really nice, big, usable space inside there as well. Yes, these bag dyes are gorgeous, but the thing you need to remember with them is they are truly functional. If you wanted to give handmade bags, then absolutely you could. Now we're going to go back to Lizzie. Lizzie, I know we've only got about sort of 7 minutes or so left, but I know you've got a little quick demonstration you want to do with these. I must say, see this bag? I think this could be a weapon. It's definitely one of those bags that you'd give someone a good bash with, wouldn't you? We can't condone violence, obviously, but we've all seen Mrs. Doubtfire. It's just a really good substantial bag, this one.
You know what? I always have this feeling, when we were we're getting a little bit low on stock on the fabric, and that's the vision I have in my head, Joe, of everybody swinging their bags around. Keep out of my way, I'm coming through, I want that fabric. So bear it in mind. Look, I was just going to show you how easy these bag making dies are to cut. And if anybody knows me well, they know jolly well that I love all of our bag making dies. I can't get enough of them. So what I've done is, all I've done on the side here, I've just literally folded my fabric in half. All of these dies are a half, if you like, and you have to sort of fold your fabric in certain ways to get the shape you want. Now on this one, you've got it on a half circle. Now this is from the circular crossover bag. Now all I'm going to do is put my die on the fabric like that. You can see what I've done. I've just folded it over roughly. I'm going to use my beautiful, fast, sharp rotary cutter just to take away just enough fabric that I need. I could have been a little bit better, but there we are, hey. And that's given me enough now to cut that die. So look, I store mine in my machine, and I'm just going to get it to go back. There we are. So it keeps my plates nice and flat if I store it in the machine. So I've still got my piece of fabric to go. So what I'm going to do first of all is get my bottom plate, and I've got a bottom plate that's already got a couple of I call them grazes or bruises, and I've forgotten one of my plates, so this will be interesting to see if it cuts. And then I've kept my fabric folded in half, put my die over the top, like that, and I always use tape, a cheap old builder's masking tape. I'm sure if you're in the States you'll find something equivalent where you are. I always, in fact, where's my metal plate? Not thinking. Metal plate goes on there. You'll see that mine is battered and loved within an inch of its life, but they've got so much mileage in them. Don't ever think just because you've got a dent and a dint that they're broken. They're absolutely not. So just bringing my dye over so it sits there beautifully on my fabric, and I'm literally putting my tape, can you see, I'm putting it on the dye and the waste fabric. With fabric, depending what it is, when you pull the tape off, which then becomes super tape, you can actually fray the edges of your fabric. So that's what I always do. And then, of course, I need to put my clear plate on top. Now, in the proper world, if you're not on TV, you'd have the opaque plate now. But as I haven't got that, I've got a few sheets of paper here, so they're going on the top. We'll see if it cuts. But you want your opaque plate and then your clear plate. Pop it in your letterbox. See, I'm going to see if it cuts. It'll be interesting to see if it cuts. Turn it around. You know, I use my Lazy Susan. Can't imagine why. Ooh, throwing everything off. And then... I don't know if it's going to cut. I don't think it's cut. And I have to say that is totally my fault because I haven't got my opaque plate. I thought I had and I hadn't. But look, what I have done is cut nearly all the way through. Now, that is entirely my fault. OK, so don't ever think it's the dyes. It's called a Lizzyism. Right? It's called prep better next time, Lizzie. But because what you need is the clear plate, the metal plate, the opaque plate, and then the clear plate. And I'm within, I'm going to say spitting distance, but that doesn't sound very nice. I'm going to say within arm's length distance, I can actually grab an opaque plate, but I've got a bit of a desk in the way. But so that is how you would cut these fabulous bag dyes. And if you're ever wondering if they're going to be of any use, they absolutely are, because at the end of the day they're just shapes. So even if you made my little mini moppy here, that is a circle. You could make a bigger one, maybe for your crafting things, using that big die that we just use on demonstration, and you can make a bigger one of those for your crafting essentials. And it is just a rectangle and a circular base. That's all it is. So there you go. Fill your boots. You'll never be disappointed with these dies. Never.
Awesome. Also, Lizzie, what you know the name? I always find the carpet bag is so funny because you're not going to be able to fit a carpet in there. Why on earth do they call it a carpet bag and a bowling bag? I don't know. It always intrigues me. And I have a feeling if anyone's going to know the answer to this, it's going to be you. So a carpet bag was made out of carpets. That's what they used to do. They used to use up old carpets. I mean, I used to go to somewhere that was like a craft store, and it was full of bags made from old carpets. Obviously not too thick, you've got to be sensible. But if you look at the Turkish carpets, the thinner ones, the silk ones that you put on the floor, they would make the most amazing carpet bags. And bowling bags is what you think it is. It was for bowling balls, for grass bowling. What's it called? The one on the grass. There is a name for it and it's escaped me. But it was designed to fit the ball, yeah. Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for that. You've answered that. I shouldn't lose no more sleep over that, Lizzie. Loads of you still chatting away with me. Randy saying, my grandma taught me quilting when I was a lad. Oh, I did that one, didn't I? Caroline Bailey has ordered the mint zip. She would love to see the shade. Here it is. If you just have a little look in that window there, I'm sure George will get nice and close for you so you can see that. Yeah, the Caroline, that is the mint one that you've ordered there, as you can see. So that is a kind of, do you know what? I'm going to say it's a bit more vibrant than it looks there. It's a little, well, it's more minty, surprisingly. But if you look on the front, it does look kind of blue, doesn't it? But it isn't. It is very much this sort of minty green. Mary Pat says she's counting rulers in her head. Gilmore's got all the bag dyes. Alicia loves all these bag dyes. And Hadassah would love a sew-along craft day. I think that would be a great idea. Right, what I want to do, if it's okay, is just give you a recap of all the things that are available still in this show. I know we are almost out of time. I mentioned the cork fabrics a little bit earlier. Got a great deal for you here. It's a buy two, get one free, and it's a really gorgeous selection of colours. You've got the gorgeous chocolate, you've got the blue in there, you've got that minty one in there as well, and it's got like a kind of a foily metallic element to it, which is just beautiful. You've also got the cork fabric in the ornate lace for you as well, which I just think is stunning. It's like a gorgeous tapestry, isn't it? We've also got it in the striking stripes as well for you. Sounds like a football team, doesn't it, the striking stripes? Oh, 2-0 to the striking stripes. We've also got for you the metal die bag tab set as well, which is this one here. I love these. If you want to make little gifts, you want to make little, some people some sort of key rings and things, maybe personalise them. How about doing it in faux leather with a little bit of foiling on there? That's gorgeous and a really great price. We've also got the bag tag set as well, kind of like making your own little tag bag charms if you want to. You've got that one. We've also then got the Threaders Rose Gold Bag Making Hardware Bundle, which is your class. So you've got some D-rings in there and you've got some magnetic clasps in there as well, which I think is awesome. We also have some specific webbing for straps. So it's perfect size to go into your straps. It's $4.99. You can get it in the brown, or you can get it, of course, in the royal blue, which is fantastic. Now, that's everything for now. Well, should we go back to Lizzie? I'm going to have to say goodbye to Lizzie, I'm afraid. Lizzie, can I say it's been an absolute pleasure having you join me here again in the studio. I hope we get to do it again soon. Oh,
it's been an absolute joy, Joe. I'm glad I got that the right way round.
It's been an absolute joy. Yeah, it is, and so pleased that everyone got their hands on that gorgeous fabrics. They're not going to be disappointed, are they, Lizzie?
Oh my God, no. I mean, they're so inspiring. That's the thing about fabric, is that as soon as you see it, you know exactly what you want to make with it, because it kind of it talks to you. Excuse me.
It really, really does. Lizzie, as always, a huge pleasure. Thank you for all those inspirational demos, and we'll see you back here again real soon on Crafters TV. Take care, Lizzie. Bye-bye. Lots of love.
Bye.
Yes, what an amazing show it has been. Congratulations if you got on your hands on the fabric. Now, I'm hopeful that we're going to be able to put a bit more fabric on the website at a later date. We'll keep you abreast of that in the later shows today, and we'll let you know if any does bounce back. I know there's still a few of them bouncing in and out across on the website. I will let you know, certainly if not in the next show, then in the 7 p.m. Craft Vault, maybe have a bit more information for you by then. But if you did get it, congratulations. Once you have made some stuff, I'd love you to start sending in pictures of what you have been making, because I know you're going to be making the most gorgeous creations out of that. Don't forget, we are far from done here for the day at Crafters TV. I am up in an hour's time with the boss herself. Sara is here for launch party. It is absolutely chock-a-block full. We've got some incredible taster deals on our ink pads as well. You're going to make sure you join us for that. And then another chance to see what was a very, very busy craft vault this morning. I'm not sure if we're going to have those outline dies still in stock. Join us to find out. It's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, but it's going to be a fabulous rest of the day here on Crafters TV. I'm going to get some lunch, and make sure you meet me back here in 1 hour's time. See you then.